Her training taps into the stretch-shortening cycle of muscles. That is the rapid lengthening followed by shortening of muscles, especially around the ankles, hips, and knees, which underpins explosive movement. According to sports science, when an athlete trains this cycle effectively, they train not just muscles, but the neuromuscular system's ability to respond quickly. By doing this, she enhances her ability to accelerate from a dead stop, decelerate with control, explode into directional changes, and maintain power even when fatigued. This kind of training has a direct carryover to those long rallies, those sudden lunges, and those footwork battles where the 1 extra inch or half second makes the difference. Another key factor in Gauff's emphasis on explosive lower body training is the need for resilience and durability. Tennis is taxing. The constant starts, stops, directional changes, the eccentric loading of muscles, especially in the lower body, all place high demands on tissue, joints, and tendons. By training for explosive power, she is simultaneously strengthening her lower body musculature and conditioning the connective tissue and joints to cope with the repeated high-force demands. The evidence is clear. Training that increases force production also improves the body's ability to absorb and redirect force efficiently, which helps reduce injury risk. From a tactical point of view, Gauff's game benefits tremendously from her lower body power. She often takes the ball early, steps inside the baseline, and uses her legs to generate forward momentum into her shots. When she changes direction, whether chasing a drop shot or pivoting for a wide backhand, her lower body system needs to act like coiled springs, compress, stabilize, then explode in the desired direction. The faster she can do that, the less time her opponent has to recover, and the more pressure she can apply. This is reflected in her footwork patterns and court coverage. Her training ensures that when she plants, pushes, decelerates, and then redirects, her body is tuned to handle that efficiently and powerfully. Moreover, as the demands of professional tennis keep increasing, with players hitting harder, moving faster, and matches lasting longer, Gauff is investing in longevity through her lower body training. The idea is to maintain her movement quality throughout long matches and entire tournaments, rather than degrade as fatigue sets in. Incorporating explosive lower body work ensures that not only is she fast and powerful now, but that she can sustain it match after match, week after week. In a recent profile, she noted that part of her training was designed with injury prevention and long-term durability in mind. Coco Gauff performs this explosive resistance band movement to strengthen her lower body and improve her ability to generate force efficiently on the court. Tennis demands rapid acceleration, sudden stops, and powerful directional shifts, all of which rely heavily on the strength and reactivity of the legs. By driving one knee upward against resistance, Coco activates her hip flexors, glutes, quads, and hamstrings, while also challenging her balance and coordination. The resistance band adds an external load, forcing her muscles to work harder to stabilize and move explosively, a key quality for sprinting toward the ball or pushing off during a serve. This type of training also enhances her neuromuscular response, teaching her body to recruit the right muscles more quickly and efficiently. The upward drive mimics the athletic motion used in tennis when she transitions from a low defensive position into a powerful movement, such as lunging or jumping into a shot. The inclusion of the upper body pull helps integrate the kinetic chain, promoting full body synchronization that translates directly to stronger, more fluid movements on the court. For Coco, developing explosive lower body power is not only about strength, but also endurance and injury prevention. Strong, reactive legs absorb the shock of constant movement, reducing strain on the knees and ankles. When Gauff pushes off sideways, recovers, slides into position, or shifts rapidly to a wide ball, her lower body, especially the hips, glutes, adductors, inner thighs, abductors, outer hips, and the muscles around the knees and ankles, must coordinate seamlessly. The band-resisted slideboard work builds exactly that. It forces the body to handle lateral force, load into a slide, decelerate, stabilize, then reaccelerate, all while the band is pulling her in a direction she must resist or control. In effect, each slide becomes a micro-simulation of a tennis point. She must slide to reach a shot and then adjust quickly thereafter. The importance of this drill lies in its ability to strengthen the lower body's change of direction system. Tennis isn't just forward and backward. It's sideways, diagonally, recovering, exploding again. By doing the slide board with a band, Gauff is training her adductor-abductor complex to become more resilient and powerful in those sideways actions. This is crucial because as the opponent stretches her wide, she must not only reach the ball, but also push back into position, often from awkward angles. That pushing back involves hip stability, tendon strength, muscular control, and the ability to generate force from a loaded lateral posture. Furthermore, using the band resistance adds instability and extra muscular demand. With the band pulling, Gauff can't just passively slide. She must actively resist unwanted motion, control the slide's path, and then redirect her body. This means improved neuromuscular coordination. Her brain and muscles learn to anticipate the pull, brace, control, and then push outwards. For a tennis player, that means when she's on court, her lower body is more efficient at transitions, moving into a wide ball, recovering to the center, or attacking a second serve return. The effect is less wasted motion, quicker recovery, and sharper response. Another key reason Gauff utilizes this integrated movement is to prevent injury and improve durability. Her lower body joints and muscles are under constant stress. She slides in matches, plants her foot, pivots, decelerates, and re-accelerates. The slide board drills safely replicate these sport-specific stresses without the unpredictability of a live match. The band resistance further strengthens tendons and stabilizer muscles by forcing control under load. Over time, this helps her body absorb and redirect force more safely when actual high-speed lateral changes happen in competition, reducing the risk of muscle tears, strains, or joint overload. Her devoted focus on lateral movement drills becomes entirely logical once you understand how the demands of modern high-level tennis are structured. Research shows that in a typical match, roughly 70% of all movement occurs side to side rather than simply forward or backward. Why is this significant for someone of Gauff's caliber? Because if too much of her training were forward sprint or backward recovery based, she'd be training a lesser portion of the movement demands and leaving a gap in her responsiveness. Her game thrives on being able to slide, adjust, recover, and re-accelerate quickly laterally. Whether she's chasing a wide forehand, resetting after a deep shot, or stepping in to dictate the point. Because lateral movement dominates the sport, she invests heavily in drills that replicate those side-to-side demands, so that when she is on court, those movements become automatic, efficient, and powerful. From the perspective of lower body fitness, the value of those lateral movement drills is manifold. First, they train the lower body not just to move, but to react, to decelerate, plan, and push off laterally with high force and under control. Muscles in the hips, glutes, outer and inner thighs, abductors and adductors, calves, and stabilizing muscles around the knees and ankles are all engaged in a slightly different way than straightforward running would demand. Research highlights that lateral accelerations depend on unilateral leg strength, especially on the outside leg generating ground reaction force in a sidestep. Gauff's drills therefore work to improve not only her ability to move, but to move with control and power in the direction that most frequently arises in match play. The improvement in leg fitness that comes from lateral movement work is subtle yet pivotal. Foot speed increases, first step quickness improves, stability improves, recovery becomes faster, and the energy cost of repositioning drops. Because she has practiced that side-to-side movement so many times under training loads, she uses less energy when executing it in a match. Her legs are conditioned to handle the repeated small bounding motions, minute shifts of weight, and subtle repositioning that distinguish elite players from average ones.